Welcome back to another episode of Legal Stories. Today we're looking at the case of the People versus Tonderai. This is a recent judgment from the Court of Appeal. On the afternoon of December 10th, 2022, Tonderai visited his estranged wife. Soon after he arrived, his wife asked for drinks. Tonderai sent his 17-year-old son to the shops to get them, leaving Tonderai and his wife alone in the kitchen. According to Tonderai, his wife became very aggressive. She told him their 18-year marriage was over and that he was not husband material. According to Tonderai's testimony, his wife then picked up a kitchen knife and stabbed him in the neck. Tonderai managed to overpower her, and in the struggle that followed, he stabbed his wife multiple times. He also stabbed his 11-year-old daughter several times during the fight. Following the attack, Tonderai sent a detailed WhatsApp message to his son. He listed properties and money he was leaving for the children. He apologized, saying he regretted killing his wife and that he also regretted that he was about to take his own life. He then drove to his office. After arriving, he parked and eventually moved his car into the basement. About 15 minutes later, he walked toward the security gate. A guard noticed his vest was bloody. Tonderai didn't answer the guard's questions but asked for water. As he walked out of the premises, he told another guard he had been attacked. Seconds later, he collapsed and lost consciousness. He remained in the hospital for weeks. The High Court found Tonderai guilty of murder, but gave him 20 years because of provocation. Provocation. This is when a person is pushed by a sudden act or words that would make a reasonable person lose their self-control. The state, the Director of Public Prosecutions, appealed, arguing that sending the son away and writing that detailed message proved Tonderai had planned the murder, premeditation. However, the Court of Appeal found a major error. The trial judge had used the testimony of the two children without following the correct legal test for a voir dire. A voir dire. This is a mini hearing where the judge checks if a child is smart enough to give evidence and understands the duty of telling the truth. Because the judge didn't follow the Children's Court Act, the children's evidence had to be expunged. This included the claims that Tonderai had brought the knife with him or had made prior threats. Without that evidence, the court had to rely on Tonderai's version of events. The judges agreed that being told you are not the father of children you raised for 17 years is highly offensive and provocative. The Court of Appeal upheld the 20-year sentence. However, they changed one condition. The trial judge had originally said simple imprisonment. The Court of Appeal ruled that because Tonderai is a healthy man, he must serve his time with hard labor. What can we learn from this case? Child witness procedures. Under the Children's Code Act, a judge must specifically confirm a child understands the duty to tell the truth. If this isn't done correctly, their evidence cannot be used, no matter how important it is. The benefit of the doubt. This case follows the Chawala principle. It says that if an accused person gives an explanation that could be true, and the prosecution cannot prove it is false, the court cannot ignore it. The burden of proof is always on the state to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt. Charged offenses only. A judge cannot increase a sentence for a crime the person wasn't officially charged with. Since Tonderai wasn't charged for attacking his daughter in this case, the court couldn't use it to give him a longer sentence for the murder. The weight of words. This case shows that words can have devastating consequences. While nothing justifies violence, the law recognizes that certain words can cause a person to lose their senses, which can change how they are sentenced. Emotional intelligence. This tragedy reminds us of the importance of walking away when an argument becomes too heated. A few seconds of lost control resulted in a 20-year sentence and a family torn apart. Simple versus hard labor. In Zambia, simple imprisonment, not doing physical work, is usually an exception. It is for people with medical disabilities, the elderly, or sometimes women. For most men convicted of serious crimes, the sentence will be with hard labor unless there is a clear medical reason on the record. If you want to learn more about how the law works in Zambia, make sure to follow Legal Stories for more episodes. We also ask that you keep the comment section respectful as we discuss these sensitive real-life matters. Thanks for watching.